This one I paid $55 for. Said I was here at 7 in the morning till 3 in the morning. About $2.80 a bun. This morning I bought 160 packs of buns.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Is there a certain process that you have for like taking stuff out, or is it kind of random?
Well, sort of. Basically, we load everything that basically goes on the carts. The water, the generator, the electric. That way, the first thing I could do, and the umbrella, I could get set up, start cooking, set up the electric, get everything all set up while he's bringing over all the miscellaneous stuff that we're, the food.
Right.
Hey, you reminded me of umbrella.
How long does the setup process usually take?
It depends. Day like today, half hour, 45 minutes at the most. Winter time, it can take up to an hour because we're dealing with a tent and all the weights and sidewalls.
Oh, wow.
It's windy and cold.
How often are you guys like stocking up on stuff?
I stock up I stock up every week.
Every week, yeah.
Yeah, usually Thursday or Friday. But now when we open the restaurant, I'll be stocking up probably earlier in the week, probably less often. Not buns and stuff, obviously, every week. Most everything else I can start inventorying now in the freezer and shelves. And
is there stuff that you keep in here full time, or does it always go in and out every single time?
Well, the tables, the propane tanks, all the stuff pretty much in the blue. Well, not all. Some of the stuff in those condiments that comes back now and goes into the freezer. But yeah, a lot, like you can see, I haven't totally cleaned it out in a while. We've been working on the restaurant. I still got a space heater in there. It's too windy. I don't even know if we're going to be able to keep that one standing.
That's true.
Do you ever cancel for weather, or you usually just run it through?
Super cold or super wet.
Just never windy though?
Not yet.
Today might be.
Could be a first.
I saw that there was a license plate on the cart. Is that,
no?
You have to have that, or is it because of the
there
trailer?
Because I thought I needed it, but I didn't.
But if it's like being pulled as a trailer, then technically would you have to, or no?
Short.
Too short.
Not
okay.
Considered I need a license for it. Now, some of the food carts are. I've seen a few people that have stuff that are like 10 feet, 12 feet long. I believe that requires a plate for the trailer.
Right.
Spent 3 hours power washing this area.
On the street here? Why is that?
To clean spaces.
Just to clean it out?
Grease stains, dropped chili dogs, a lot of gum.
Yeah.
But it's my area, and the city said, hey, your area looks bad, so.
Oh, nice. Wow.
I bought a big IBC tank, connector hose, put it to my power washer, came down here, it worked pretty good.
The last time we were out here, you had a huge tent up.
Yeah.
Is that something you still do, or no?
Depends on the weather. If it looks like it could rain, or if it's cold. In the winter, we always have the tent because we put the sidewalls up and a space heater in there.
Make it secure.
Don't keep you warm, but it keeps you above freezing. Now that we have the restaurant, I don't need to be down here every weekend.
Skipping out on the cold?
Yeah, when it's that cold, I will. Just for everybody's sanity, it's just too cold. You dread it all day. We still do pretty good, but you still dread going down there all day.
How do you remember like everything? Like, do you have a checklist, or?
I've done this for 10 years. I still forget stuff every once in a while, but it's usually pretty rare. It's something pretty crazy. Somebody moved it out of the truck or something.
Oh, yeah.
That it's not supposed to be out of the truck.
What year did you start doing it?
Oh, I got my cart in November of 16, I think. Sold my first hot dog in January of 17.
You've been in the same spot since then?
Oh no, I've been here since COVID.
Oh, okay.
There was 10 carts when I started. This spot had 2 of them. And then there was one right there.
So it was like busy down here with carts.
Yeah.
Is it just not as many people down here anymore, or?
Oh no, there's as many people down here. Everybody went out of business or couldn't do business in COVID.
Right.
I ended up buying all their hot dog carts and selling them out of state where you couldn't sell hot dogs.
You mentioned that in the last video. There were so many comments on the last, and people were like, they're like, this guy's a savage. And then there were some people who were like, oh, that's so rude or whatever. But I was like, whatever
works.
They got
money, they needed money. I flipped them. They didn't think of listing it someplace. They thought everybody's out of business, and shut everything down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's $2,500 for a cart. That's a good deal. I bet I could sell that someplace else that's open. So I'd list it just in a red state or two, and people would drive over here and pick them up for double what I was paying for them.
Do you think in like 5 years it's going to be the same way again? There'll be 10 carts back down here?
Oh, it's already starting to get that way.
Okay.
There's already a couple, but I've been at this spot so long and so many stupid, crazy, bad weather days. People who walk here, no matter where somebody else is, because I've been here,
Right.
they know I'm gonna be here. And that's been huge for us.
No, that's good.
We have another guy that sits up right there, and he does all right, but once we show up, his night's pretty much done. We kind of joke that the rookies go there, people who aren't down here very much, because most of the people who are down here on the regular, they know I might have 15, 20 people in line, but it's still only a couple of minute wait, unless everybody wants a chili dog.
You should get a sign that's like, been here for 10 years or something. So like any of the new people know that like you're the OG.
I get guys coming up and talking to me all the time, asking me, how did you get started? I'm looking at doing this. I'm like, well, first off, don't, unless you've done this kind of stuff before.
Right.
I worked in the entertainment industry for years. I've done food, I worked beer tents. I mean, so I kind of knew what to expect a little bit. There's a lot of work, and there was a lot of years I didn't get paid much for the work. We did okay the last couple of years because we've been here. The consistency's paid off, but
Right.
there were years, this was a hobby, and that was the best you could call it as far as money. Because there was 10 people doing it. There was 2 here, 1 there, 1 over here, 1 over by the tin can.
That's amazing to me because I didn't start going out down here until like 2019 maybe.
Yeah, it'll be like that again soon. My goal is they're all wearing my brand. I want to franchise them all, put them to work for me.
That's a good idea.
More popular hot dog.
Yeah.
Once people get used to the fact that everybody in town's a Gringo dog, they'll start doing real well because it's my hot dog. This is the worst job in the winter right here, having to reach in there to grab this pitcher. You either need to use the long tongs or back of a ladle or something to get down there. Otherwise your hand's wet and then you're cold.
And then you're just freezing.
But right now, I almost want to jump in there.
How much water do you need to bring usually?
I bring the 10 gallons. We usually bring 3 of these, 2.5 gallons or whatever. I cook with the distilled. I don't want the chlorine and all the other in the city water in my food.
Right.
So I cook with this at home and here. I always have. I don't like city water. It's bad enough you got to bathe in it. Let's see if this light's in this wind. Oh, there it goes.
Will the wind ever blow it out?
We had that once in the winter.
Yeah.
It blew it out. But it's set up. That was my older cart too. That's a lot old. Well, they're actually, both of my carts are like 4 serial numbers apart. Same identical cart. The only difference is this one has 3 smaller sinks. The other one has 3 bigger sinks. But mine I'd been using since I bought it. And the other guy bought it, saw how much work there was in the thing and decided not to do it. Then his wife was making all natural doggy treats, and that exploded on Amazon for her, so she needed the space and forced him to sell it. So I got a good deal on it, half of what I paid for my original cart.
How much was this cart?
This one I paid $55 for.
Oh, okay.
The other one, all total, because I had it shipped up here and everything, was about $11.
How much are like new ones versus used
You
ones?
can buy cheap ones for $2,500 brand new.
Okay.
But they're so thin, you'll probably burn through them.
Oh, really?
The parts are cheap. Well, you can make one yourself. It's not that hard if you have any minimal welding skills. Just go get a trailer and a little frame and put it together.
It's not a bad
I
idea.
got the blueprints if you want to buy them.
Yeah, we'll link it below.
No, that's what we're gonna do eventually, because you can't buy them anymore.
Oh, really?
My son's a welder, so we're gonna put these together ourselves if we ever franchise and expand like that. And that's my goal with this. I started with a cart. We now have a drive-through restaurant. We have a business plan for a sit-down smokehouse full restaurant with a kind of a venue on it for people to put on music events, stuff like that, or host a wedding.
Yeah.
Things like that. So yeah, I've already written the business plan up for that. We have a few people looking at that, but I want to get to drive one at a time. Let's finish that one and kind of figure it out a little bit before we try something bigger. And mess them both up.
Right.
I've done this, like I said, for 10 years. I've kind of got a handle on most of the stuff that's going to sneak up on me. My crew's been with me for several years. Most of them, Drew only a year, but most of them several years on and off throughout different weather. Anything happens, they know what to do because they've done it for a while. But there's a lot of little things that can happen. Your propane freezes up, or just weird things that you can't count on, and all of a sudden that night it happens.
Earlier, you were talking about competition. Is there a reason why you don't just buy 2 carts and then?
I have 2 carts.
Or just, okay, but like have 2 spots, or is it expensive to?
Well, I've set both carts up, and what I found is I sell the same number of hot dogs, but I pay twice the number of people.
Oh.
This town is small enough where the downtown vending zone, they know I'm here. They'll walk from Flanagan's, they'll walk from the Tin Can. I don't have to be everywhere.
Right.
But now if I could find people who want to sell my product, and then they pay themselves from what they, I have no problem with that. I'll make every cart in town a Gringo dog. But I found I didn't need to. I mean, now if there's a really big something going on here and over by the, what's the other one, the DeVos Center, then I'd throw a cart over there.
Okay.
But because that one's kind of far out, and those people aren't going to walk way over here. Most of them aren't regulars or know I'm here. But anybody at the bar, they've stopped here.
Yeah.
Or somebody else said they're going here. But if you go to some event at DeVos, an orchestra, nobody's down here. That's adults. This is usually kids or hockey sports fans.
That's your main customers.
That's who my main customers are. Most adults aren't down here. Most guys my age aren't hanging out at the Bob.
No, I haven't seen the restaurant yet. Where is it located?
36th and Division.
Oh, okay.
Just south of 36th Street. Yeah, you'll know it's us when you see it. It's this color.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put black bark and evergreens in there, and it really looks good.
How long has it been open?
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, okay.
We just got approved yesterday or the day before by the health department. Probably be slow rolling and opening this week, and grand opening probably June 1st with a basic menu.
Awesome. Yeah.
We're just slow rolling it to start with hot dogs and fries, figure out that system. Then add the corn dogs, and then add in the mac and cheese.
Do you do corn dogs out here?
I have enough trouble with them complaining about the grease cooking hot dogs. I don't want to deep fry it. You have to fill it and drain it after every move, to move it. And it's a big trailer has to have all enclosed sidewalls, and that's just going to keep blowing down like that. I'm surprised the cart isn't tipped over.
It's windy out here. So is there any electric plugins that you can plug into out here, or is it?
No, that's why I have my own generator.
And then you need propane to run
runs the
to
cooker,
heat it.
yeah. A lot of carts don't use the electric, but I like having the lights. I like the place well lit up at night, and I use a cash register that requires it.
Can you talk about like the hot dogs?
We get all our hot dogs from R.W. Bond & Son out of Granville. It's a custom-made butcher dog. It's our own recipe, so even if you went out there, you still couldn't get our dog from him. You'd get his dog. We have no fillers or sweeteners. It's basically just a meat stick. All select cuts of locally grown meat, depending on what we have that night, whether it's our beef hot dogs or if we have some kind of sausage. It's all raised in Canton, Ottawa County, the beef or the pork.
They're pre-cooked, I'm assuming?
They're all smoked.
Yeah.
They take the meat, they put it in the casing, and then they smoke it for several hours. That officially cooks the meat, and then like right now I have them frozen because we're in the process of moving stuff, and I had to freeze them. Yeah. So I've been trying to inventory a few and stuff, which I normally don't have a big inventory, but I've been trying to just because of the restaurant coming.
How long does it take to warm them up usually?
It takes about 15 minutes if the water's hot.
Okay.
And the dog's frozen. It takes about 5 minutes if the water's boiling and the dog's is cold.
And then how many are you keeping in stock there usually?
I bring 600 with me a night. We usually go through close to that this time of year. In here, usually, like right now I got 20, 10, and 10.
Okay.
But later at night, just before, when 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock rolls around, it'll be 40, 20, and 20. Plus a mixture of our quarter-pound hot dog. We don't sell a lot of those, but about 40 of them a night, or on a busy night.
I'm assuming you don't have it. Do you sell any vegan dogs?
I do have a vegan dog.
Oh, nice.
We'll sell a pack of 4 of those in a weekend.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
good.
We had one weekend, we went through about 8 of them. There was something going on in town that was kind of that
Yeah.
theme. So there was a lot of those people loose around in town, those anti-meters. It's kind of diametrically opposed to my business model.
Yeah, I got to adapt a little bit.
I'll serve what you want to buy as long as it's wiener format. That's kind of what we're sticking to.
They should do like those cake pop wiener. They're like cake pops, but they're like on a stick.
I've seen them. Yeah, we've looked into stuff like that. We've been looking into a whole bunch of different desserts based on a hot dog bun or stuff like that. Not the hot dog itself, but
Right.
based on the bun or it looks like it. I've got the access through our butcher for like pigs in the blanket. We're looking if we do a breakfast to do a breakfast corn dog and a pig in a blanket kind of a. We thought that would be a good breakfast combo.
Right.
I could put some crazy stuff in a corn dog.
Yeah, that'd be.
Wrap a sausage with bacon, wrap it around an egg, and dip it in a pancake batter instead of your corn dog batter.
Oh, that'd be good.
Or do an egg with the chorizo and then maybe $5. And then maybe throw a little bit of onions and peppers in it and dip that one in a corn dog batter so you have the corn bread taste with the chorizo.
Right.
A lot of different options for breakfast that we're going to play with now that we have a place to do it.
But here it's just pretty standard.
Here it's pretty simple, straight up hot dogs.
Hot dogs and chips.
And chips. We do the walkie tacos just because we have the chips and the chili and cheese.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't my original intent, but the ex-wife said, I want a walkie taco, not a hot dog. I'm like, a what? She said, walkie taco. You got the stuff. I'm like, oh. She says, you need to put that on your menu. That's my idea. So I did. It's been a big seller.
Have you ever done Chicago dogs?
Not on the cart. We will at the restaurant. We're not going to call it that. It'll probably be called the Windy City, just because my son's diametrically opposed to this is Grand Rapids, not Chicago.
What's your favorite kind of dog? Like if you had to eat one every day?
I just like mustard and little relish and onions.
This simple.
Yeah. I don't have the stuff here. I really love them. We call it a Carolina slaw dog. It's the chili and a little bit of cheese with coleslaw and a sprinkle of onions.
That sounds good.
That was something I learned down in Carolina at one of the restaurants down there that served that style, and I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a really good combination.
And then being out here for 10 years, how many hot dogs do you think you've eaten from your stand, or you don't?
Let's just say on crazy week, it was 51 weeks because for some reason we didn't work a couple days. So let's take 50 for easy math. So times that by 2 nights, that's 100, maybe 2 or 3 dogs a night.
Okay.
So what, 2,000 times 10 years? Well, times 5 years. I wasn't out that regular before COVID. There's too many other people. It was a big event, or I did.
So thousands of hot dogs.
Thousands. And ironically, every time I still have one, I'm like, that's a good dog. I don't get sick. I mean, I don't eat them every day.
Yeah.
I get them twice a week. Well, now I probably will get them every day, so who knows what's coming. But it's been twice a week, and it's like, I can't wait to get down here, do everything, get set up, and have my dogs. I'm on, what do they call it? Intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't, sometimes if I got a really, really busy day, I'll stop and do some breakfast. Make me an egg on a bagel, something like that. I'm out the door, and then I don't eat again until I'm down here 6, 7, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Otherwise, that's my normal time, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I eat before I go out and karaoke, and then I'll nibble on the couple of slices of pizza or the half a bowl of spaghetti or thing of spaghetti I made at the end of the night. Yeah, this has been a weird ride. Starting as a little hobby, I didn't expect it. We had our inspection the other day. The inspector pulls up in her car, hops out, and she's all like, oh! I'm like, what's going on? She goes, you don't remember me? I was the one who certified your first cart. It's so cool, you got a restaurant after 10 years.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, wow, okay, this might be an easy inspection. And she went through, found a few things that we had to fix because of the age of the building. Dents in doors that you could see daylight under, had to cover that, caulking in some spots, but nothing that was a major thing. And yeah, she was so excited, almost as excited as I was about it. I thought it was really cool. It helps to have, if anybody's thinking of doing this, it helps to have a relationship with your health department and Build one with the city. I didn't at first, and they found every reason to give me a heartache. And once I started cooperating with them and stuff, it's gone a lot smoother. Do yourself a favor and yeah, play nice with the government.
Do you have to get like a license or a permit or
You have to get a health department approval on your plan, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're going to do it with, all your equipment that you're going to use, whether it be a cart or a restaurant. They want to know right down to the microwave and your pans and what kind of stuff you're using. Are you using, they don't need a name brand on a pan, but they need to know what are you using, stainless steel, whatever. So you have to write the business plan out for them as far as the food program goes. Once they approve it, they look over your cart, make sure everything works, make sure it does what it's supposed to, and then give you your license and approval. Then to work in town, you got to go get a couple of different licenses depending on what you want to do. If you want to work on the sidewalk, you go get yourself a cart license. If you want to work in different areas other than like right where I'm at here on a sidewalk spot, you have to get a what they call a special transitory food unit, or ironically an STFU.
And how much is like a permit or a license?
The permit's about $395.
Is that yearly?
That's once a year.
Yeah.
But then you need a commissary, and depending on where you go for that, you need a commissary license. That's another $395.
Will your new restaurant be your commissary now?
So I didn't need a license for that. The carts run straight out of my restaurant, not somebody else's.
What was it before?
I was using the Iron Well.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much, Todd. If you get a chance, stop there and help him out. He helped me greatly. He's a great guy, and it's a fun place. Karaoke one day Tuesday. I gotta help him out.
No, that's good.
He was a lifesaver for me. I used to be over here at the kitchen place over under the highway there.
Okay.
But they got so popular with the bigger food trucks, they wouldn't let the carts. And he stepped in, and for the last like 3-4 years, allowed me.
And then you had to pay like fees there too?
Not to him, I didn't. Most places will charge. He's a good friend of mine, so he let me just do it.
Oh, nice.
But I still had to get the commissary license from the city so that they know where I'm operating out of. Not that they do a lot of inspections or anything like that, but they can and have. And it's usually a random, one of the inspectors is at a concert and just stops by and takes a look. They're not here in uniform,
right.
It's after hours. They're not really here officially doing it, but as long as they're here, they're gonna stop, get a hot dog or whatever.
What did you do beforehand to like save up the money to buy a cart?
I worked for an entertainment company, so I was traveling all over the country doing virtual motion, virtual simulator stuff, laser imaging, running game shows, different stuff in the colleges, traveling all over the U.S. And because we were in the schools over the summer, we had the time off. And so by the end of the summer, I would be broke. So at the end of the school year, when I had money, I bought the cart. Started getting everything together, I should say, to buy the cart. It took a while to get the financing lined up and the thing built and shipped. I didn't get it till the end of the year. That next year, I was selling hot dogs, different places here and there, a couple of different gas stations, things like that, trying to figure out how to use it.
How did you determine your prices and like how have they changed over time?
Well, originally I was selling a hot dog. My original concept was to sell cheaper than everybody else. So I sold cheaper hot dogs than everybody else. They were selling $3.50, $4. I was selling them for $3. Then we got the custom hot dog, and now I didn't have to worry about being cheaper. I was better. So we figured in a reasonable cost structure for it.
Like basically a quality versus quantity situation.
Yeah, we still sell volume, but the hot dog's way better, which is why I think sell the volume.
And then how much are they now?
They're $5 a dog now. The price for beef almost doubled.
Right. Have you seen him before?
Yeah.
The wizard guy?
The rolling wizard.
Oh, I can't get him. There he is. The wizard. How often are you getting new equipment, or has it lasted pretty long? Just like anything.
Every year it seems I have to buy a new water heater. I don't care how hard I try to get them cleaned out. They get in that cold weather and some water in it somewhere, and it always seems to crack one of the fins. So it seems like every year I'm going to probably take them off the cart this winter and keep them in the house or in the restaurant.
Is there any other things that go bad or
Coolers.
Coolers.
I've gone through a lot of coolers. We end up having to put metal hinges on them. The plastic hinges they come with are worthless. We open and close them too much.
Oh, for like when you're selling water and stuff like
Water,
that.
soda, yeah.
Oh, okay. You need a separate phone for Wi-Fi.
No, we could use the public Wi-Fi or whatever. I use a separate phone for the music and Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
That way I can have my other phone to answer. Although I'll get 5 or 6 phone calls a night. People asking how late we're open.
Oh, really?
That gets annoying between other messages that I might need to get and stuff, always interrupting the music. So I have a Gringo Dog phone and then I have my own phone. I don't have any ready right now. Good to see you back on the bike.
But do you need Wi-Fi for the cash register?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that runs through your generator?
Well, it runs through that runs through my generator, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, plus all my lights. Even with the street light, it gets kind of dark. And you're handling cash. The more light you have, the more honest people tend to be.
Are you taking cash and credit card?
Oh yeah, I'll take your Bitcoin if you got it. I got a wallet on my phone.
What about Venmo or PayPal, Cash
That's
App?
all part of our processor.
Okay.
They'll take all that.
What percentages do you think are cash versus non-cash?
That depends. Our usual weekends, it's a lot of credit card. I think it's college kids. But when there's a big sporting event or big concert, especially if it's an older person where it's drawing an older crowd, we get a lot of cash.
Are you doing like other events outside of just coming out here at night?
In the summer we do. Here, if there's a big concert out here at night, we'll come. I've got several different community events we're doing in the afternoons. A couple of different, well, I got, 2 wedding late snacks.
Is that something that you're always trying to do, or you just do a little bit on the side every year?
If they call me, I'll do it, or at least try to. It depends on how it fits with our schedule. If there's stuff for Friday, Saturday night, it could be a little tough.
If you were doing like events full-time versus being out here full-time, which one do you think you would do better in revenue?
From my experience, being a cart, right here. But good luck if anybody tries it. I've had other carts set up here, different foods, other hot dogs. They don't do well. My customers are pretty loyal because we've been loyal.
Right. Yeah, you've been here for so long.
And when it's crappy, wet, I mean, unless it's like hurricane rains or really cold and blowy, then we're not. But 12 degrees, if it's still, we'll be out here.
How often are you stocking up on food? Is it a weekly thing? What does that look like?
It's been a weekly thing. The buns I need to get fresh anyway, so I usually get them in the morning. But because of the restaurant, we've been stocking up on hot dogs. That's why you see they're frozen. Usually I'll pick them up in the morning and then they'll just be in the fridge.
Right.
And then if I have any extras at the end of the weekend, I'll freeze them.
And then like for your chips and buns and all that, are you going to like a Gordon's or a,
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that offers that?
I can get a lot of that stuff at Meijer's or Walmart or Sam's Club or Costco. I think Gordon's seems to be located near Meijer's. And Meijer's is where I would pick up a lot of my buns. I can't go many stores. I buy them out of buns. Meijer's is one of the few that have more racks of buns in the back of the store, not just what's on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because I'll clean them out of buns.
Oh, wow.
Like tonight, I bought this morning I bought 160 packs of buns.
And then
times 8.
Right. I think that's a lot of buns.
But we're selling at the restaurant now too, so I had to pick up extra buns for that. Normally I do about 100 packs.
Do you steam your buns or do you just let them be plain or regular or whatever?
We don't have time. We're so busy when we either have nothing going or it's go time and it's super busy. We don't have time to steam buns. We wrap the hot dogs in a foil and they usually steam the bun between the time you pick it up and the time you put condiments on it.
I see there's a bunch of condiments out there. Is that all free or do you have to pay for it before?
The only thing you pay for is chili cheese. Everything else is, the chili cheese is $1. Everything else is complimentary. Some stuff for your walking tacos, stuff for your hot dog. Some really crazy hot stuff because there's some really crazies who like it. And the more toppings, I found we'll get people who will buy 3 or 4 hot dogs just to have the different toppings on each one. It's nice to have an assortment. Spicy mustard, spicy ketchups, relish.
What do you think is the most popular?
Ketchup, then pickle relish, then regular mustard, and then oddly enough, Chick-fil-A sauce.
I see over here He's prepping some hot dogs and rolling them?
Yeah.
Is that so they're ready to be sold, or what is that?
We get a lot of, we have a 5 for 20 offer, and we'll get a lot of people that roll up and want 5 dogs. And 5 dogs takes a little bit of time to kick out, especially since there's somebody else behind you, sometimes who wants something too. So we'll usually wrap 4 or 5 dogs. It gives them a chance to steam in the bun, and if they sit there for a while, we'll eat them.
I was wondering if there was like a heater or anything that kept them warm if they did sit there.
That hood holds enough heat in from cooking them to where, even in the winter, that hood's almost too hot to touch. So it keeps them pretty warm.
Yeah.
Unless it's windy, then nothing stays warm.
What do you think the average order looks like? Are people, because you mentioned the
My
5.
average sale is about $12. It's usually a meal, and sometimes a meal with a second soda.
So people are getting a lot of
They'll buy
dogs and
a
sodas?
guy will come down with a girl. They'll each get a dog, split the bag of chips, and each get a can of soda. So there'll be the meal deal plus a soda.
What's like from one guy, what's like one of the biggest orders?
Biggest order we ever got, some guy stopped and bought 100 hot dogs, told us to hand them out.
Oh, so he was just being nice, like.
Yeah, he bought $400 worth of hot dogs.
Wow.
This was last summer, so it was still $4 hot dog.
That's super generous.
Yeah, and it was great because there's another guy set up right here, and he could compete with me throwing free hot dogs at people. People would walk up, oh, hot dog, like, here you go.
What do you think one of like your biggest lines was, like a wait time? Have you ever had like a time where it's like, and a lot of time, like if you get drinking, you don't even perceive time, but like say, has anyone ever waited like 30 minutes?
We've had lines, 3 or 4 people BSing, while they're in line, but blocking the sidewalk back to the street. Depending on our wait times aren't very bad. We move a lot of hot dogs fast.
Right.
The only slowdown is walkie tacos or chili cheese dogs, but even chili cheese dogs don't slow me down that much because we're going so fast. There's always a free dog sitting there on a foil. You just throw in the chili cheese container. I'd say maybe 15, 20 minutes at the busiest, and that's at the end of the night when we're trying to slow down and get out of here, and everybody's now trying to get food. We usually, the latest we'll cook is 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
We'll shut the burners off, whatever we got is what we got. We try to be off the street, the sidewalk by 2:30. Usually we're not completely off, but we're done cooking. Most everything's already in the truck. Maybe the cart's sitting here yet, and that's it.
Because I know the bar across the street gets out at 1 now, or
they
1:30?
Stop serving 12:30, start kicking out at 1. This one stays open later, and this one closes at 1, so 1:30 we're getting people.
Okay.
It's kind of a little bit of a flex, which works nice. You don't get hit with everybody at once.
Right.
The closest one first, and then this one, and then that one last.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was curious, if there were still people
And
coming.
then you get wanderers from all the other bars who know we're here.
Yeah, strays
Wanted
walking
to get
around.
food before they got in their car.
Yeah. What prompted like doing late night? Is there like a possibility to ever do during the day, or no?
I've done lunches, don't do very good. You're competing with all the food trucks. For food truck events, or you can find a spot near one. All the restaurants are open. There's other options that people have at lunch, and I found daytime just doesn't work well on the cart. Even during Art Prize, the last couple Art Prizes, it was pretty lame.
Huh.
It used to be 3 weeks of just crazy all day long,
Really?
and now it's crickets. I didn't even set up the last 2 years.
What was your busiest day ever?
Our busiest day ever, we did over 1,000 hot dogs. That was the Saturday Trump rally, the weekend after he was shot.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. He spoke at 2 in the afternoon. I was selling hot dogs by 7 that morning to all the people who waited overnight to get in front of the line. It was an insane day. All the vendors wanted to trade hot dogs for t-shirts. I got a huge t-shirt collection. It was, that was probably our best day right there.
So like a $5,000+ day?
Yeah. And they had a really good Friday too, because a lot of the vendors were already here Friday getting spaces. So we had vendors plus our normal crowd, plus people that came to town to see them the next day were in hotels, so they came downtown.
So it is possible to do like a $5,000 day?
You can.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, I was here at 7 in the morning till 3 in the morning, so it was a day.
Yeah.
I slept here actually that night.
Really?
I didn't want to, I started packing stuff up into the truck, and all the vendors started moving their stuff over. They wanted my spot. I'm like, oh, I'm not leaving. Came back we're not going nowhere, guys. Help me pack the truck up. The cart's staying here. I guess I'm sleeping here.
Yeah, that's smart though. I mean, it made extra money.
Yeah, got an interview with NBC.
What was the interview about? Just your business?
Well, it was about a difference in business between a normal Saturday and this Saturday with Trump here.
Which was
Insane.
quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, double, if not more.
On like an average weekend, how many hot dogs can you sell, or what's like a good revenue day? I guess without the Trump
in the
rally.
winter, we'll sell 400 maybe on a weekend. In the summer, our best, not counting the Trump weekend, our best average was about 1,000.
A lot of those are coming with, you know, add-ons. Yeah.
And somebody got a walkie taco, and yeah. I usually just count my dogs.
Oh, you just, yeah, like your...
Yeah, I
like
don't add the walkie tacos and sodas and stuff,
Right.
and just the number of dogs.
Right. What are some of like the biggest expenses that come with it?
Food, but definitely that's killing me. I don't want to raise prices if I don't have to. My customers are loyal. I want to stay in their range. So that's hard. Labor cost is hard. Nobody wants to work unless they make a lot of money. And you can find helpers, but they don't want to work. Oh, I want 20 bucks. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'll pay you 15 to start, and if you can prove that you can run the cart pretty much by yourself, then you're worth 20.
Right.
But you got to be responsible, prompt, show up. I can't have you showing up an hour late. I'm only open a few hours with this cart. You're an hour late, there goes a fifth of our night.
Have you ever thought about selling anything extra on the cart to make more money, or is it too much of a hassle?
There's not a whole lot of other food options I could do on the cart other than like Hostess cupcake, Twinkies, where I'm just rebuying and reselling. I don't have the time for what little volume I think that would be. I mean, if all I had was a candy thing, I wouldn't set up outside the bar.
Yeah, that's
I'd
true.
set up outside the Children's Museum.
Yeah, I mean, people want a hot dog after going to the bar.
After the bar, or after an event at a sporting event or a concert or something. People want something in their tummy if they've had a few drinks.
What do you think about like location versus population? So like, if you were like forced to be in a different spot, but the population was double, would you like that? Or would you rather be in a better spot and have lower population, if that makes sense?
Depends on what's going on. Population is always key. The number of people that are in the area are always key. But what they're doing in the area is also important. If they're foot traffic, it's huge. If they're just driving by, it's not so much. A lot of people, they won't stop in their car. They'll look, but they usually won't stop.
Right.
Unless they're looking for food. But people that are walking weren't even looking for food, and they'll stop because they're smelling it, seeing it. Street food is kind of an experience, not just food.
Yeah.
So let's try that place. Because I'm that way. If I see a food truck, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen them there before. Let's see what they got.
But do you think probably both are meaningful, location and population?
Yeah. You could have a crappy location, but you're at a festival with a lot of people. It might not be a great location, but there's a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You could have a location that doesn't have a whole lot of people, but for example, if you set up like not downtown so much, but like 28th Street or something on the side of the road, you'll get a lot of drive-by traffic, and in that certain area on 28th Street by Division and Burlingame, between Division and Eastern, there's always a lot of food trucks set up there, so people are comfortable stopping. They seem to do really well.
Right.
It depends on what you got and really why you're there. This location during the day is terrible. There's nobody here.
But at night it's
But
great.
at night, this is where all the bars and the event centers basically are. So it's really about the people and why they're there. If you're trying to set up outside of a huge church, yeah, there's a lot of people, but it's Sunday, they're getting out for dinner, they usually have Sunday dinner plans, they're not gonna stop for a hot dog. Somewhat, but the majority, they're going home for a ham dinner or a traditional Sunday thing that they do after church. This is kind of that after church, after bar routine that these people have. A lot of people tell us that they look forward to coming downtown to the bar because they get a hot dog at the end of the night.
Right. Can you just run through like a full day and then
Today
like...
I got up at 8 o'clock, headed to the shop with the truck, sorted out what I needed in the back of the truck, what I had to have, what I needed to go get, grabbed the empty boxes and racks, went to the store, got my bread, went to Gordon's, got all the other stuff that I needed, stopped at Myers, got water and some sodas and some stuff that they don't carry at Gordon's. Went back home, took all the extra stuff out of the, or back to the office, the restaurant now. Took all the extra stuff out of the truck that I didn't need for tonight, put it where it went, filled up the cooler with water, with all the miscellaneous stuff, pulled the condiments out of the cooler, put them in the truck, got everything loaded up, hooked the cart up, came down here, pull in here, Drew comes walking up, meets me, takes about a half hour, 40 minutes to get set up and cook. After that, we usually have downtime for about an hour, hour and a half, depending on if there's an event going on, a big event, then there's a line waiting and a lot of people will come buy food. Tonight it don't seem like a lot of people waiting in lines, so we're not getting a lot of people coming over, but at the end of the night we will. About 11 o'clock it gets crazy. About 2 o'clock it gets insane because we're almost out of hot dogs and everybody's screaming that, am I gonna get one, am I gonna get one? By 2 o'clock we're done cooking, packing the truck up. 2:30 we're usually rolling out of here.
Sounds like a good day.
It's a busy day. That's Friday, Saturday. Well, Friday, Saturdays I get to sleep in a little. But I have to go wash pans and wash stuff, so that makes up for some of the shopping.
Back to the payment system. Is there like a payment system that you use? Like
I use Square.
Square, okay.
It's not the cheapest, but they have the most options for what people can use to pay.
Is it like a monthly you have to pay for it, a one time?
No, they charge you per transaction.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but like I said, they have the most options for people to pay you in. Every sale you lose is sale lost. You know, if they can't, I don't have any money, all I have is Cash App. Square takes Cash App.
Yeah, you're better off to have it than not. Like
I don't want. If I'm here, they could Cash App me. But if I'm not here, I don't want to Cash App my employees for a hot dog.
right.
That don't help my bookkeeping and it don't help them, and it's not the most legit way to run things.
Right, that makes sense. How does like food sales tax work?
Well, the way I do it is, if you pay with a credit card, I charge you the sales tax. If you pay cash, I pay the sales tax on it.
So it's just like a back end thing that you have to deal with?
Yeah, I figure out my total sales, then I divide it by 1.06.
Yeah.
And that gives me the cash sales that I did actual minus the sales tax that I included. Then that's how I figure my sales tax for the cash, and then it's already collected for the credit card.
Did you always have the storage truck, or when did you get that?
I bought that 3 years ago, wrapped it 2 years ago.
What did you do before that?
I used a pickup truck, I had a minivan, borrowed a vehicle a few times because the minivan didn't hold stuff for a big night. Yeah, I've owned probably 6 different trucks, but I went the route of buying cheap trucks, stopped doing that, and I stopped having to buy a truck every year.
I see you're parked over there. Are you allowed to park there? How does that work?
I'm allowed to load and unload there. I keep looking around the corner waiting for a spot to go move.
Oh, okay.
The city's nice enough about it. Well, it's still kind of daylight out because they know parking's kind of tough. But if it gets later at night, 8, 9, or like 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm still parked there, they'll come harass me, tell me I got to move it or take it home, or they're going to ticket it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I can usually find a parking spot.
Yeah. If you came down on the street and there was just like, it was jammed and people were unloading, loading there, like what do you do?
Wait,
You just wait it out?
or find some spot to kind of pull off and start unloading. I'm on a schedule.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying a lot of times, like, you know, people just leave their stuff or their car there and not.
We don't have that too much. We get that once in a while, but not too much. In the afternoon, you might get it a bit, and later at night, you get it. But when we're setting up, you don't get it too much. The police are here a lot of times for events, so they'll give people a grief for being there or throw a ticket on their car. Because they'll be here for 45 minutes to an hour, and if that car was here when they got here and it's still here when they're leaving, they'll walk up and put a ticket on. Because it's technically 15 minutes, but they they seem to make a measure for me because for the first half hour, 40 minutes, we're running back and forth to it. But like I said, if it's still there at dark, they want to give a ticket.
Have you ever gotten to your setup spot for your cart and had somebody here or something there?
I've had other guys set up, but not in my spot. I feel bad for them if they tried it because they probably wouldn't do much in sales. They would be getting a lot of grief from a lot of people.
Right.
because that's my spot. I've kind of claimed it just because we've been here for years.
Right.
I gave the people that sold hot dogs that courtesy when I started. I found an empty spot, went set up there, so I wasn't imposing on what other people already established. I expect that kind of courtesy back. You're business partners, you're rivals, but you're not enemies. You're not here to cutthroat them. You're not here to put them out of business. You're here to sell some hot dogs.
Right. Are you down here usually running it, or do you just have other people run it?
I'm usually down here.
What's your like primary role when you're down here? Are you like...
I cook.
You cook?
Yeah.
And then someone mans the cash register? And then you just need 2 people usually?
Yeah. If it's really busy night, I do what's called the third man. I'll change the ketchup, change the trash, run and get supplies from the truck, give them breaks for bathrooms, stuff like that.
Do you think you could run it solo, or is that...
I did for years.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Even here for 1 year, I did it myself. Won't do it again.
Pain?
Got robbed. That's why I carry the gun most of the... Well, when it gets dark, I'll put the gun on.
Yeah. Yeah, because if all this stuff is so hard to protect, essentially.
Well, you're busy with a customer by yourself, and someone can walk up behind you, and you don't see it.
Yeah.
That's real hard with 2 people. One's that way, one's kind of looking this way, and then we have the wall behind us. But I've body checked people into the street.
Oh, really?
They thought they were going to be cool and sneak behind us instead of walk around us. And all I saw is somebody not wearing green out of the corner of my eye, and my first reflex is I'm getting robbed. So I turned around with a pan lid in my hand and body checked him. He threatened to sue, and I said, I thought you were robbing me. Tell that to the court.
What do you say he was doing?
He was being a drunk is what he was doing.
Oh, he was walking
Thought he
through.
was being clever and cool. Oh, I'm going to run behind these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, that's not smart to do for any business or anywhere in the world.
Especially when people are dealing with money in a big crowd like that.
Oh, yeah.
We set up this way for a reason. We kind of isolate our space so you're not in it.
Yeah, it's creating walls.
Yeah, I could have been right out here and kind of operated like this, but then you're vulnerable. Even with 2 people that don't work that way. Stuff, like we have coolers and chips behind us. I couldn't do that with it all just laying out on the sidewalk. People would walk off with it.
Do you have any other crazy stories?
One night we had some guy really drunk giving us grief about our prices and our this and our that. Some guy told him, knock it off, he's doing you a favor down here serving food. The guy got lippy with him, said something. And then of course his girlfriend made a comment, and that guy turned around and looked at his girlfriend, finger pointed her in the chest, and basically told her the men are talking, blah, blah, blah. That guy turned around and goes, you did not just touch my girlfriend. And she's like, yeah, he did. He put his finger right in my chest. He's like, tell you what, you've got till I get my chili dogs to apologize. If you don't, you're going down. The guy sat there and laughed. I handed the guy the chili dogs. He turns around, looks at his girlfriend and goes, did he apologize? She goes, no. He turns to the guy next to him, hold these. Whack! Out on that sign for about 5 minutes till he came to. Laid him cold out. That was probably the most spontaneous, funny.
Yeah.
You asked for the F around to find out kind of moment.
Right.
But I've had people down here doing weird tricks. You've seen the wizard go by, but I've got people, oh, do this or you give me a free hot dog. So we're actually thinking about doing stupid dog tricks here this summer. And just videoing stupid tricks that people want to try to do for a free hot dog.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Do people ever like come up here and just like just bother, but like they're not gonna buy?
Yes.
What do you do, or do you just
homeless, wait? There's a group of about 3 or 4 different ones who will come up here and just stand in line, usually really drunk, bothering people, wanting something, scaring people. But that's only a few of them. Most of them have the respect and know that if they don't mess with my people, at the end of the night, if I have extras, I'll hand them out.
Right.
But a lot of them will sit over here or sit over here with a sign on their walker and ask for someone to buy them food. And then people always bring them here.
Yeah.
They don't bother us. They don't bother the customer. They sit there with the sign. No problem with that.
Right, yeah.
But don't be all drunk and scary looking. Just these little 20 kids who aren't used to being downtown in the big city. They're college kids.
Yeah, they just want to get away from the situation.
Yeah, they want to get out of college and go to the bar and have fun, and all of a sudden, what looks like a big trauma scene unfolds because they don't know what to expect. They hear rumors. They don't know most of these people are harmless.
Do you ever have to tell people to go away?
Oh,
or no?
Yeah, quite often, especially in the summer. In the winter, not so much. They don't hang out. But in the summer, yeah, we had a guy a couple weeks ago. I finally just said, dude, I don't need your help. I'm not going to hire you to do something here tonight. Don't keep running up and talking to everybody. You're scaring a lot of people away. And just go. Come back at 2 o'clock. I'll give you some food. You don't need to help me with anything.
Right.
But please, go right now.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of repeat customers?
Oh yeah. That's the majority of our customer base.
Well, yes and no.
Yes,
It's a weird thing. It's about a 3-year rotation. They're regulars for 3 years, then they graduate.
Or they're onto a different section of life?
Well, yeah. Well, they graduate because most of the kids down here are Grand Valley or GRGC or Davenport, or they're college kids. So they turn 21. They got 2 or 3 years where they come to the bar, then they graduate. They're either moving on to grad school, or they got a job, or they're going back home to get married, or something going on, and they're done here. But then you'll see them every couple of years. They'll show up on a class reunion thingy and come down here. Oh, you remember me? Not anymore, no.
Have you ever had someone that has come almost every night in summer?
I have one guy that he works down here. He gets out about 11. He's here almost every night. Has been since I've been at this spot. But he's an employee that works down here. He's probably 38. He's just working, going home, grabbing food on the way home. I'll see him after, some nights when he don't work, he stops down here with a bit of a glow going but yeah, he's almost every night here. I have there's a lady that stops by, Gracie, and brings her little puppy, Teddy. Teddy can't walk through this neighborhood without having to come over here and sniff the sidewalk to make sure that we're really not here. Otherwise, he gets a treat when we are. So he's kind of trained. He can't just walk straight down the sidewalk. He's got to cross over, sniff, and then he can continue.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so cute because I was down here one day without the cart, and she didn't see me. I was sitting over there, and they came across, and she's trying to walk straight. She's like, they're not there. Walks him over. He sniffs all around, and all of a sudden he saw me, and he freaked out and came running. Oh, I didn't even see you there. I said, Teddy did. He thought maybe I had a hot dog in my pocket waiting for him or something. I don't know, but he was excited to see me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, and we've gotten so many customers with that kind of they're walking their dog, and we dropped a hot dog earlier, so we put it in a tray for what we call dog dogs, and we'll break that into pieces and hand it out as a treat.
Oh, okay.
It never fails. Within a couple of times of doing that, they're coming back and buying a dog for their dog and buying a couple for themselves.
That's a great idea.
Well, you throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have dogs too.
Yeah, down here, especially between 8 and 10, they're all walking their dogs before it gets late and the bar crowd kicks in. And everybody, oh, that's so nice of you. And then the dog scarfs it down, and then the dog, next time they walk through here, knows he got a treat here. So they're kind of, it's like your kid going by a McDonald's. They know what's in that place.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell them no.
What advice do you have for any other entrepreneur out there?
Research what you're going to do. Find a job in that field doing it to see if you really like it. Find somebody who's doing what you're doing. See what you can learn from them, and then go do your business in a different market than you learned from. Don't go steal their customers, their business, but learn from somebody so that you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to spend 4 to 5 years learning, and that's why most businesses go under in those 3 to 5 years. They didn't have a mentor or something that they could see done and try to mimic that. So yeah, go learn something if you want to do it. If you're going to spend your money to buy the stuff to do it, go find somebody who's doing it. Make sure they have the lifestyle that you want, and then learn from them to do that thing. Way better than just winging it. And as far as getting the experience goes, I had a guy approach me the other day. He came down here to the cart, he saw what we were doing, had our hot dog, and thought this would be a great thing to do in his town, but asked me, he says, is there any way you can get me started doing this. He goes, I don't want to spend the 10 years to learn this and go through all the mistakes that you made. Is there any way that I could just pay you for the information and the name and the hot dog and sell this product myself? So I've talked to my lawyer, and now we're looking at potentially doing franchising. I can't approach people, but they can approach me.
So what do you do like usually during the downtime?
During the downtime, sit around, smoke, try to get a bathroom break in, make sure you have everything that you need for the night. Just wait.
Yeah.
It might be the last break you get.
It rained a little bit earlier, so this is your tent that you usually have up
Yeah.
if it's gonna rain?
Yeah.
How long does that take to put up?
Took me 5 minutes.
And do you usually bring it with you, or?
Usually do.
Yeah.
We've been running it at the store all week for shade in the afternoons, and I never thought about it tonight until it started sprinkling
Yeah.
and thundering.
And then I see you have the weights down there.
Yeah.
That's a must probably for
It's
thunderstorm.
required. You have to have
Oh, it's
it weighted-
required?
Yeah, you have to have it weighted down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, insurance, I believe you're in trouble with your insurance if it's not weighted down and it blows away and hurts somebody because you didn't make an effort to secure it.
So you have to get like business insurance and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have full business insurance for everything. Food liability, business equipment, vehicle liability, also liability in case somebody breaks into my truck and steals stuff. Now the restaurant liability insurance, the building.
How much is that usually per year about?
With both vehicles included and renter's insurance on my house, because that's kind of was the office, it comes to about $280 a month.
Okay.
But that's pretty good liability and all that. And then it's $500 liability for my food liability generally for the cart.
Right.
That's a different company.
Nice. Yeah, it's not bad. You gotta have it.
Well,
So.
compared to somebody suing you, and
Yeah.
now you're out, could be million.
Right.
They get sick, something that's not even your fault, bad chili from the store,
Yeah.
reserve it, it's your liability.
Yeah.
So far we're at $91. Average sale is about $8.33. It is $9.30. About
good.
an hour away from when it starts to pick up. The basic layout of a cart, you'd have your propane tanks down here towards the front or depending on the cart. With ours, you got the water heater right here. It's a point of use. Whenever you need the water, the pump runs, water heats, comes out the sink. Sink's full, we can't use it right now. These are the two main cookers. This one we put a water pan in and then keep chili cheese in here like a double boiler. That way it doesn't get all charred and burnt from the fire. And then this one we put pans in there, kind of separate our hot dogs a little bit. We found they cook at different temperatures, so we have different pans, so hot dogs could cook faster or slower depending on what you need. The hood helps keep the heat in and also keeps the hot dogs warm once we wrap them up and get them ready to serve. We have a cart here to keep the buns on, so we have some place to operate off. We use the front sinks on this as our condiments, place to put stuff so people can have a good selection of condiments. And then we just run a table with our card processor right next to it. A lot of the reason we use that is the cart's extremely hot, and a lot of these people are extremely drunk, and they will come up and lean on the cart and burn themselves pretty good. So we use the tables to kind of keep them back a bit from it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What is there anything in here, or what is
this
that?
This is our cooler right here. It'll hold 400 hot dogs and 40 quarter pounders.
Oh wow.
So it's a pretty good sized cooler. The problem is if you're cooking for a long period of time, the cooler will not keep stuff cool. So we use that for our early hot dogs. And then once we're cooked out of there, then we go back to this bigger cooler, which keeps them cold. In the winter, it's nice because it'll keep them kind of thawed so you can cook it fast. But in the summer, you don't want them getting warm like that because it's warm out already.
Yeah.
You want to keep them cold.
Is there any storage underneath, or no?
There's a couple of storage. There's a storage back here where we keep bleach. And then there's storage right up here where I usually keep 2 jugs of water, just in case for some reason I couldn't get water at the store. I always got 1 day's worth of water in the cart.
Do you ever do like in-person like sales? Like, do you try to ever get people to get a hot dog, or is it always?
No. Technically, we're not supposed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think that is, or what?
Well, the city just says you can't be barking or calling or running out to traffic trying to. It's pretty much got to be. They see it.
Maybe on a sign. Do you ever offer any like deals or discounts?
Once in a while, yeah. Yeah, we'll do what we call a Gringo BOGO, which if you're wearing one of our green shirts, you'll get a free hot dog with a hot dog purchase.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll do stuff like that. We'll do sales once in a while. Usually May 5th, we do Gringo de Mayo if we're working that day, and that's a deal on a walking taco.
Do you do any other advertising outside of
Not here with the cart. We're going to start a lot with the restaurant, but with the cart, not so much. People already know what they're going to do on a Friday or Saturday. They're not going to make a special trip to come see a hot dog cart.
Right.
But we do market to let them know that if they're downtown, we're here.
We touched on it a little bit. Do you want to talk about like your new business or your new restaurant?
We're opening up a drive-through. It's an old Get 'em and Go. It's on 36th and Division, 3648 Division, just south of 36th Street. It's painted Gringo Dog green. You won't miss it. We're going to be serving our normal Gringo Dog, our Gordo, our vegan hot dog, but we're also going to introduce a Wiener of the Month. Our first month is going to be the jalapeno cheddar, but we're also going to have French fries, mac and cheese, and corn dogs, along with slushies, coffee, tea, and Coke products.
What made you do a restaurant instead of like maybe doing a food truck or another cart?
I was looking into a food truck, but I wanted this restaurant spot. I stumbled on the owner, and they laughed at my name. They're Hispanic. They thought it was funny. So they rented to me. They had no intention on renting the building otherwise. But they're renting it to me. Now they're talking about selling it to me. They think it's hilarious. I always wanted a restaurant. The question really is, why did I do a hot dog cart instead of the restaurant? And that was affordability. And I had no track record, so nobody was going to loan me any money on a restaurant, one of the riskiest businesses to try.
How much more like expensive do you think it'll be, like cost per month compared to running a cart?
My basic costs for the restaurant, as far as the hard costs, I cover selling hot dogs on the cart. My labor costs, extra food costs, things like that, that's going to be an additional expense. The location, I got a decent enough price on it to where I could use it as a commissary and not an actual restaurant. But why waste that opportunity to make money?
Right.
It's a great location. 21,000 cars go by there a day according to the traffic tags.
When there's a game or a concert over there, what do you think the differences in sales are per night when there is versus isn't?
With a hockey game, it really isn't. They run a beer hot dog deal inside. It gets out early enough. It's not a late night hungry thing. People get out of the hockey game, they probably had a hot dog there or popcorn or a beer, and they go home. Concerts are another story. A lot of times with a concert, people showed up already partying.
True.
So
yeah.
they've already got a buzz. They probably didn't eat well before they came because they were pre-gaming. And when they see a hot dog cart after a concert, we do really well out of there. Not so much the hockey. We did okay for the ladies volleyball, which surprised me when I found out they even had one. And it was a bigger crowd than the hockey game. And they're good. And they like chili dogs.
Yeah.
A lot of the volleyball teams have been out here and had hot dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could tell. They're the tall girls.
Oh, yeah. Is it legal to sell alcohol like on the street? Obviously, I know you have to have a liquor's license, but could you sell right here?
Can I? No. I've already tried during a festival to use our charity to pull a liquor license to run off my cart. But they said in the city of Grand Rapids, they require an actual physical location.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I had like the restaurant right here, I could put one of those little beer or liquor carts on the sidewalk right in front of my location, I believe, because I see several of them around town.
Yeah, I
But
have.
they're
Yeah.
right in front of the place that owns it.
Right.
I think it's more of a frontage deal, like the patio eating kind of a thing. But yeah, I tried. They said no.
Late night, if you couldn't do hot dogs, what would you sell?
Pizza.
Pizza? Why?
It's the other late night fast walk-away food. Tacos are messy.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them, but they're messy. You miss your mouth with most of them. It ends up on the ground. The hot dog and the pizza is pretty convenient, unless, you're really lit and outright drop it.
Yeah.
The street taco, you are limited to what you can do with that in a cart situation. I'd have to have it all pre-made and then sell it, which means they're going to be soggy.
Would there be a way to sell pizza or no?
Pizza, yeah. Vito's used to have a pizza cart out here. I loved it. It made my business better.
Oh, really? They used to?
I tried to buy his carts. He sold them to his cousin or somebody else that he knew, something like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I would have bought them, put one right there. I have a couple friends who have pizza places. I'd have
Yeah.
sold their pizza.
Just like you said, I feel like pizza is also the next, like second best or first. It doesn't
Well, there's
depend.
enough pizza places out there to where it don't really matter whose you sell down here. People are going to buy it because it's pizza. They don't care if it's Domino's or Peppino's or Hula, whatever. It's just pizza. It's right here, right now. A big slice for whatever price. It's an easy sell down here at the end of the night. I would gladly do it. It doesn't matter. I mean, have Domino's deliver right here, 10 pizzas. Sell them, have Domino's deliver 10 more.
You should try it.
If I could get a cart.
Yeah.
I'm real tempted once this restaurant's running to try to have my son build me a cart.
Is there any like, so you have this cart here, like, do you have to have like extra space or like, is there any requirements for like more food? Like illegalities, I
have
guess.
to have a commissary, which is a restaurant that's licensed. I have to do my dishes there, keep my extra food there if I store it. That's usually a cost. But yeah, you have to have a place where you can kind of operate out of, where you can prep stuff and clean stuff.
Are you just hooking those onto the trailer?
Yeah.
Little bungee cord to help from the wind. It's got crazy out here. I think they're gonna keep going though. We'll see. Roger, what are your comments on this?
Selling what we got and probably shutting down
Yeah.
before I lose a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How many dogs left do you have to sell?
Probably about 30.
Okay, it is 11:06. We are at 277.20. Not crazy, not
Yeah.
our best night, but
Not bad for being crazy out here.
yeah, for it being crazy, I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Sorry we couldn't continue this for the whole night, but this is part of what you get when you're running a cart outside.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Last customers. So I ended up leaving right after this order, and these customers weren't actually the last customers of the night. They ended up selling out of their hot dogs that they had already cooking, and it ended up being around $400 extra in sales. I texted them the next day asking how much they sold, and they told me they stayed open until midnight, and they ended up doing $680 in sales. That's pretty incredible after a super, super windy day and a storm that came through. They still managed to get a lot of sales. But yeah, overall, this was an amazing experience, and we loved hanging out with Gringos, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Comment down below if you have any questions, and we hope to see you in the next video.